You did not arrive here by accident. Out of every possible timeline, this one has found you. You have been carrying questions, doubts, and a quiet yearning that the world has never been able to answer. And now, in this exact moment, you are hearing the signal that has been waiting for you. This is not simply a video. This is your mirror, your confirmation, and your turning point. You are exactly where you were meant to be. You have been feeling it for a while now. That subtle pull in the quiet spaces of your days. When the noise fades and you are alone with your own thoughts, something inside you whispers that there is more. It is not the kind of more the world shouts about. It is not more possessions, more approval, or more recognition. It is the more that lives beyond those things. It is the quiet sense that life has been waiting for you to remember something you once knew. That feeling of restlessness you have carried has not been an accident. The reason you sometimes feel misplaced, as though you do not fully belong in the patterns of the world around you, is because your inner being has already outgrown those patterns. You are sensing the vibration of a reality that is calling you forward. You may not have had words for it, but your soul has been translating it through sensations, through longing, through wonder, through the tension you feel between where you are and where you know you are meant to be. The universe does not work in accidents. Every frequency you have been broadcasting, even in your silence, has been sending out a signal. That signal has drawn this very moment to you. Think about that for a moment. Out of billions of choices, billions of paths, billions of messages that could have appeared on your screen, this is the one that answered you. That is not randomness. That is resonance. Right now, you are being seen by the same field of energy that birthed galaxies. That same intelligence that expands stars and orchestrates the orbit of planets has brought you here. It is not because you begged or fought for it. It is because the signal you carry is undeniable. You may have doubted yourself, but the field did not doubt you. You may have questioned your path, but the field did not question you. It knew long before you arrived here that you would awaken to this moment. There is a reason you are hearing these words at this exact time. Not earlier, not later, but now. It is because your inner frequency has reached the point where it can finally harmonize with this message. Before now, it might have slipped past you. Before now, you may not have been ready to fully receive it. But you are ready now. The proof is that you are still listening. You are not simply a seeker. You are not simply someone who stumbled onto a video. You are the receiver, the transmitter, and the signal itself. You have been broadcasting readiness in every heartbeat. You have been asking questions in the quiet of the night, even when no one else heard you, and the field has answered by guiding you here. Your restlessness has been proof of your alignment. The unease you have carried has been evidence of the greater life calling to you. You are not broken. You are not late. You are not behind. You are on time, because this moment is your arrival point. What you feel in your chest right now is the truth vibrating back to you. So breathe. Inhale deeply, and know that you are not simply breathing air. You are breathing the same particles of creation that connect every living thing. You are breathing the same quantum field that bends reality. You are breathing in the reminder that you have always been more than you believed. When you let this truth settle, the restlessness begins to shift. What once felt like emptiness now feels like spaciousness. What once felt like a question now feels like a doorway. And that doorway is open right now. This is not a coincidence. This is your signal. And as you breathe with me now, you will realize this is not coincidence. It is resonance. Can you feel it? Life has never been something happening outside of you. It has always been a mirror reflecting the vibration you carry, echoing the beliefs you hold, and replaying the frequencies you allow. The struggles you have seen were not punishments. The breakthroughs you have tasted were not accidents. They were reflections, precise and undeniable, of the signal you have been sending into the field. When you look at your past, you can see the pattern clearly. Every time you felt powerless, life showed you more situations that matched that feeling. Every time you held even the smallest spark of hope, doors opened that seemed impossible. This is not magic. And it is not coincidence. It is the mirror. The quantum field cannot refuse the vibration you broadcast. It cannot give you something you do not embody. Instead, it reflects with perfect accuracy who you are being in each moment. You have been both the painter and the canvas. The brush in your hand is invisible to the physical eye, but it is very real. That brush is your awareness. Every thought you have painted into your mind, every belief you have repeated, every story you have told yourself, those have become colors shaping the reflection that surrounds you. When you understand this, you stop blaming the mirror. You stop seeing life as something unfair or random, and you begin to recognize the sacred law of resonance. This is why certain relationships felt heavy and others felt expansive. It was not about luck. It was not about destiny choosing favorites. It was about alignment. When your frequency carried fear, the mirror reflected it. When your frequency carried trust, the mirror reflected that too. The universe is not cruel. It is precise. Think of the times you saw repeated numbers, or when you thought of someone and they suddenly appeared in your life. Those moments were not strange accidents. They were evidence of the mirror at work. The universe was showing you in subtle ways that it has always been listening. It has always been echoing you. The question is, what have you been echoing to yourself? Your reality has never been a stranger. It has always been your reflection. And right now, in this moment, you are being shown something vital. You are being reminded that nothing is missing. Nothing is outside. It is all within, waiting to be recognized, waiting to be embodied, waiting to be claimed by the self who knows. The mirror is not here to judge you. It is here to awaken you. If you do not like the image you see, it is not a life sentence. It is simply a signal. It is a gentle reminder that you can shift the frequency, and when you do, the reflection must follow. That is law. So look at your life right now with soft eyes. Notice the reflection without fear. What is it showing you about what you have believed? What is it revealing about the vibration you have been holding? When you understand this, you can release the weight of blame, shame, or guilt. You can step into the freedom of choosing again. And when you finally recognize the mirror, you will begin to see what was always yours. Say this with me. I am both the observer and the reflection. Science and spirit have never truly been separate. They are two ways of describing the same song, the vibration of existence itself. You may have heard of the observer effect in quantum physics. It reveals that the simple act of observing a particle changes its behavior. When no one is watching, it exists in a cloud of possibilities. But when attention is placed upon it, it collapses into form. Do you realize the magnitude of what that means? It means that reality is not fixed until consciousness touches it. It means that the world around you is not simply a machine running without you. It is a responsive field, sensitive to awareness. You are not a passive participant wandering through a predetermined landscape. You are the one choosing which version of reality solidifies with every moment of focus. Every thought you have is an observation. Every feeling you nurture is a signal. Every belief you repeat is an instruction to the field. And the field is listening. The quantum world does not separate the physical from the non-physical. It does not draw a line between your inner state and your outer reality. Instead, it reveals that the two are mirrors of one another, bound in resonance. Think about vibration for a moment. Everything in existence hums with frequency. The chair you sit upon, the air you breathe, even your heartbeat. All of it is vibration. When you feel joy, your body hums at a higher rhythm. When you feel fear, the frequency lowers. These vibrations are not trapped inside of you. They ripple outward, influencing the unseen field around you. And in return, that field reorganizes itself to echo back what you are sending. This is why alignment matters. Alignment is not about forcing circumstances into place. Alignment is about tuning your own vibration so precisely that the reality you desire has no choice but to appear. Imagine a tuning fork struck in one room causing another fork across the house to vibrate in harmony. That is resonance. Your thoughts, your emotions, your inner posture, they are your tuning fork. Reality responds by vibrating back in kind. When you worry, when you doubt, when you repeat the thought that you are not enough, the field does not judge you. It simply reflects. It gives you more of what harmonizes with that signal. Not because it wants you to suffer, but because it cannot give you something out of tune with your broadcast. When you shift into trust, when you declare your worth, when you choose joy even in uncertainty, the same field mirrors that back. This is not about blame. It is about power. For too long you have been taught that life happens to you, that you are at the mercy of luck, fate, or external forces. But science whispers a different story. The observer effect, vibration, coherence. These are not mystical phrases. They are confirmations that the universe has always been interactive, and that you are its essential co-creator. Notice how your body feels when you accept this. There is a lightness, a subtle thrill, because something inside you already knew. That inner knowing is older than science and deeper than words. It is the memory of what you are, awareness itself, capable of shaping matter. When you align with this truth, you stop chasing. You stop begging the field for proof. Instead, you become the proof. Your presence begins to emanate certainty. People feel it when you enter the room. Situations begin to shift without effort, because your frequency has changed. You are no longer asking reality to move first. You are moving, and reality is catching up. This is why your inner world must become your highest priority. Every time you pause, breathe, and recalibrate your thoughts toward expansion instead of contraction, you alter the blueprint. Every time you choose gratitude over fear, you fine-tune your vibration, and the field listens, always. Imagine yourself as both scientist and mystic. You observe not with microscopes, but with intention. You experiment not with chemicals, but with beliefs. And every time you shift your focus, the laboratory of reality rearranges itself to match. This is alignment. This is alignment. Not chasing, not waiting, but harmonizing with the version of life that already exists in potential, waiting for your recognition. Do you see the beauty of this? You are never without power. Even in your darkest moments, you were still broadcasting. Even when you doubted, you were still shaping. The difference now is that you are aware, and awareness is the turning key. And this means that every thought you hold is not invisible. It is architecture. Whisper it gently. I am the blueprint. For much of your life, you have walked through cycles that felt unbreakable, patterns of fear, scarcity, self-doubt, and repetition have carried you from one experience to another, as though you were trapped in a loop that would never end. Each time you believed you had moved forward, the same feelings returned wearing different faces. The same lesson disguised itself in another job, another relationship, another season. And inside of you, a quiet question formed. Why do I keep reliving the same story? This question is not a mark of failure. It is the beginning of awakening. To notice the pattern is to see the timeline that has kept you small. What you are discovering is that those timelines are not chains placed upon you by some external force. They are energetic imprints created by belief, carried forward until you decide to release them. Think of a record spinning on a turntable. The grooves of the record hold the song. Until the needle is lifted, the song will repeat exactly as it is written. Your life has grooves too, beliefs etched deeply through repetition. The groove of I am not worthy. The groove of I am must struggle to receive. The groove of I am always abandoned. These grooves have been playing unconsciously, creating timelines that echo the same song again and again. But here is the truth. You are not the record. You are the one holding the needle. The moment you choose to lift it, the old song ends. The moment you realize you no longer have to repeat the old story, you create silence, space for a new melody. This is what breaking an old timeline means. It is not about erasing your past. It is about choosing no longer to let the past dictate the rhythm of your present. Scarcity has been one of the strongest grooves. It has told you that there is never enough, that you must fight for what you want, that others can have but you must go without. This scarcity is not truth. It is an expired timeline. Its vibration is heavy, but it is not eternal. The moment you declare, "I am enough, and life provides for me," the needle lifts. The moment you step out of fear and into trust, the loop dissolves. Fear has whispered to you as well. It has told you that stepping into your power is dangerous, that you might fail, that you might lose what you already have. And so you stayed within the loop, playing the same notes of hesitation. But fear is only a voice from the past. It does not see the truth of what you are capable of. Its timeline is already fading. When you breathe deeply and allow courage to rise, you step off the track of fear and onto the path of expansion. Self-doubt has been another echo. It has told you that others carry the light, but you do not. It has told you that your voice is not needed, that your presence does not matter. But doubt is simply the shadow cast by your own brilliance. The stronger the light, the longer the shadow appears. When you understand this, you no longer mistake the shadow for truth. You see that doubt was only a distorted reflection of your own awakening power. When you break these old timelines, something extraordinary happens. You begin to hear your own frequency clearly for the first time. The hum of who you really are grows louder than the whispers of fear. The pull of possibility feels stronger than the weight of the past. And with each choice to step out of the loop, you align yourself with a new reality. The past does not disappear, but it loses its authority. The grooves remain on the record, but you no longer play them. Instead, you write new grooves, songs of joy, abundance, love, and freedom. These songs carry you into timelines where miracles feel ordinary, where ease feels natural, and where your life becomes a reflection of the truth you always carried within. Do not underestimate the courage it takes to break a timeline. It is not weakness that has kept you in the loop, but habit. And habit can always be reshaped. Every breath you take is a chance to begin again. Every thought you choose is a new groove. Every moment of trust is a declaration that the old story is finished. And when you step out of that loop, you begin to hear the hum of your true frequency. Remember this the next time fear whispers. It is not you, it is the past. Close your eyes for a moment, and imagine the universe not as empty space, but as a living ocean of energy. Every particle, every vibration, every frequency that has ever existed is suspended within this ocean. It is not outside of you, and it is not separate from you. You are woven into it, breath by breath, thought by thought, heartbeat by heartbeat. This ocean is the field, and it responds not to demands but to resonance. For so long you may have been taught that you are a small figure moving through an indifferent world, hoping to capture what you desire. But the truth is much larger. You are not a drop, separated from the ocean. You are the ocean condensed into a form. The field does not surround you as a stranger. The field expresses itself through you. You are the signal it listens to. Think about the science of coherence. When your heart and your mind are aligned, their electromagnetic fields synchronize, creating a state that scientists call coherence. In this state, your energy is not scattered, not divided, but unified. The signal you emit becomes stronger, clearer, undeniable. The universe does not measure your words or your wishes. It feels your coherence. It responds to the vibration of certainty, the identity of being. This is why affirmations sometimes felt hollow in the past. You repeated words, but if you did not embody them, the field had no resonance to reflect. Words are powerful, but only when they are aligned with belief. When your heart and mind vibrate in harmony with the truth you declare, the field cannot resist. It does not refuse you, because it is you. You are not begging reality to shift. You are shifting and reality is echoing. You are not waiting for circumstances to confirm your worth. You are confirming your worth within, and the field mirrors it without. This is the great secret that mystics whispered and scientists now confirm. You are not inside the field. You are the field localized in human form. Consider what this means for the way you live. Every moment of fear, every thought of lack, Every declaration of doubt ripples through the field. It does not punish you, but it reflects you. And when you recognize that reflection, you have the choice to shift. When you remember that your identity is not the fear, but the field itself, you reclaim your power. This is not about control. It is not about forcing outcomes. Control is a language of scarcity, the belief that you must push reality into shape. But the field does not bend through force. It bends through alignment. When you stand in the identity of being, outcomes gather around you naturally, like rivers flowing toward the sea. You may wonder why some things manifested easily while others resisted. The answer is coherence. When you were fully aligned, reality seemed to arrive without effort. When you were divided inside, part of you believing, part of you doubting, the field reflected that division. It is not punishing you. It is simply showing you your own broadcast. The gift is that you can always tune it. Close your eyes and breathe again. Feel your chest rise and fall. Sense the electromagnetic field around your heart, radiating in every direction, measurable for feet beyond your body. This is science. This is physics. But it is also spirit, because what radiates from your heart carries the truth of your soul. And as it radiates, the field rearranges itself to meet you. You are not chasing abundance. You are abundance remembering itself. You are not calling love as if it is far away. You are love resonating, and the reflection must appear. You are not waiting for purpose to arrive. You are purpose embodied, and the opportunities appear as mirrors of what you already carry. There is no separation between you and creation. The illusion of separation was taught to you by a world that forgot its own nature. But you are remembering. You are awakening to the realization that you have always been more than a seeker. You are the signal the universe has been waiting for. When you begin to live from this truth, something changes inside you. Anxiety softens. Doubt loosens. The urge to force disappears. Instead, a quiet stillness grows. The knowing that you do not need to push the ocean. You only need to let the ocean flow as you. From that stillness, life rearranges itself. The right people appear. The right doors open. Synchronicities multiply. And you realize it was never about chasing. It was always about becoming. Identity is the key. When you declare, "I am abundance," the field harmonizes. When you declare, "I am love," the field responds. When you declare, "I am the field," the reflection becomes undeniable. This is why identity-based affirmations are so powerful. They are not just phrases. They are commands to the quantum structure of reality. They shift your vibration from wanting into being. So remember this: you are not outside the power you seek. You are the power itself. You are not waiting for reality to bless you. You are reality blessing itself through you. You are not the drop asking the ocean for more water. You are the ocean remembering its depth. And from this truth flows a new kind of stillness, the kind that does not beg, but knows. Breathe this in. I am the field. I am the signal. Reality speaks to you constantly, though not always in the words you expect. Its language is vibration, movement, rhythm, light, and subtle sensation. When you begin to listen with your entire being instead of just your mind, you start to notice how alive the communication has always been. The field is not silent. It hums, it glows, it ripples through every breath and every heartbeat. Think about how light behaves. Science tells us that light is both a wave and a particle. It exists as potential until observed, and then it collapses into form. That dual nature is not only a property of photons, it is a mirror of your own life. You exist as infinite potential, but when you focus, when you bring awareness, you collapse that potential into reality. In this way, you are already fluent in the language of light. The flicker of intuition that guides you at the perfect moment is light speaking. The synchronicities that appear, numbers repeating, songs playing at the right time, a stranger offering words you needed, are flashes of light coded into your experience. They are messages from the field, telling you that your frequency has been heard. When you feel resonance, when your entire body vibrates in recognition. That is the language of energy harmonizing. It does not require translation, because your soul understands it instantly. Your logical mind may doubt, but your heart already knows. Your body tingles. Your breath deepens. Your chest expands as though you are inhaling truth itself. Consider how sound and light intertwine. Both are frequencies. Both are vibrations. And both carry information. When you speak a word, it becomes a vibration in the air. When you think a thought, it becomes a vibration in the field. When you feel an emotion, it radiates light through your electromagnetic field. This is why people can sense your presence before you even speak. The language of light is already announcing you. Look at your life right now. Can you see the ways light has been speaking to you? The moments when the sunrise felt like it was painted just for you. The times when your entire body exhaled as you looked at the sky. The way the stars seemed to lean closer on nights you felt alone. These were not random events. They were reminders from the field that you are not separate. You are not abandoned. You are in constant dialogue with the infinite. When you embrace this, you stop asking for signs with desperation. You begin to recognize that the signs were never missing. You simply were not attuned to them. But now, as you soften, as you allow your awareness to expand beyond logic, you see that the universe has always been speaking your name. Light carries memory. It carries intelligence. It carries truth. Every cell in your body responds to light. Every thought you hold radiates as light. Every emotion you nurture glows into the field. And the field in turn replies with synchronicities, with alignment, with reflections. It is not an occasional miracle. It is constant communication. You are learning to trust this dialogue. You are learning to understand that your life is written in frequency, and as you read the language of light, you also begin to speak it. You emit clarity instead of confusion. You project gratitude instead of fear. You radiate trust instead of doubt, and the field answers in perfect resonance. And the lights you notice are not random. They are replies to your frequency. Can you see them in your life right now? For much of your journey, you may have believed that what you desire is far away. You may have imagined your dream life waiting somewhere in the future, distant and unreachable, separated by obstacles, time and uncertainty. This illusion of distance is one of the greatest tricks of the mind. It convinces you that what you seek is not here, not now, but always ahead of you. And so you chase, always running, always waiting, always stretching toward tomorrow. But the truth is simpler, more profound, and far more liberating. There is no distance. There is only alignment. The reality you long for is not sitting at the end of a path. It is vibrating here and now, waiting for you to tune yourself to it. The delay you feel is not caused by time. It is caused by resonance. When your frequency matches the reality you seek, the appearance of that reality is instant. Think about a radio. When you turn the dial, the song does not travel across the city to reach you. The music is already everywhere, surrounding you, invisible but present. All you do is match the frequency, and suddenly the song becomes clear. Your dreams, your desires, your manifestations work the same way. They are not distant. They are already here, woven into the field, waiting for your alignment. The collapse of distance happens the moment you remember this truth, the moment you stop waiting for external signs of progress and begin embodying the frequency now, the moment you choose to feel abundance before the money arrives, the moment you choose to radiate love before the relationship appears, the moment you choose to walk in purpose before the evidence shows. This is alignment. This is the dissolving of the illusion of distance. You have been taught that time is linear, that the future is something you must travel toward step by step. But the field reveals something else. All possibilities already exist. All timelines are available. You are not waiting for them to appear. You are choosing which one to align with, in every breath, in every thought, in every heartbeat. This is why manifestation is not about forcing. It is about becoming. When you embody the state of having, the field collapses the illusion of waiting. What seemed far away reveals itself as always present. What seemed impossible becomes ordinary. The path shortens because there was never a path, only a choice of frequency. Close your eyes and notice how this feels in your body. Imagine the version of you who already has what you desire. Feel the peace, the certainty, the radiance of that version. And now realize that those feelings are not the reward for achieving. They are the key that collapses distance. When you embody them now, the reflection cannot delay. It must appear. And so the gap begins to close. The moment you remember who you are, say this softly: it is already mine. Up until now, you may have seen manifestation as something outside of you, something you chase, something you must attract by asking, wishing, or waiting. But the deeper truth is this: you are not the one chasing the signal, you are the signal. When you finally understand this, everything about the way you move through life changes. Think of how radio waves work. The station does not run through the streets searching for listeners. It simply broadcasts its frequency, and anyone tuned in receives it. That is what you are. Every moment of your life, you are broadcasting. You are emanating the sum of your beliefs, emotions, and identity into the field, and the field reflects it back with precision. When you chase, you affirm that what you want is separate from you. When you wait, you affirm that what you want is not here yet. But when you embody the vibration of what you seek, you collapse the separation. You no longer send out a signal of lack. You radiate the signal of being. And the universe, which cannot refuse coherence, reflects that back as reality. This is why identity matters more than desire. Desire says, I want. Identity says, I am. The field does not answer begging. It answers coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and self-concept align, you become the broadcast that reality cannot ignore. This is the essence of becoming the signal. Consider the science of electromagnetic fields. Your heart generates the strongest field in your body, measurable several feet beyond you. Every time you feel love, gratitude, or certainty, your heart broadcasts a signal powerful enough to influence not only your own cells, but also the environment around you. Studies show that when a group of people enter coherence together, measurable shifts occur in the space itself. This is not imagination. This is the physics of resonance. Now imagine what happens when you stop living from doubt and start living from identity. Imagine what happens when you declare not I want abundance, but I am abundance. Not I want healing, but I am healing embodied. Not I want purpose, but I am purpose in action. Each declaration transforms your frequency, and the field responds instantly, because it must. To become the signal is to stop asking reality for permission. It is to stand in the knowing that you already are what you once believed was distant. You are no longer waiting for life to confirm you. You are confirming life. You are radiating a signal so coherent that the universe has no choice but to bend around it. And this shift is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is not about proving yourself to anyone. The most powerful frequencies are subtle yet unshakable. The signal of the sun does not shout, but it warms and sustains life across an entire planet. Your signal works the same way. Quiet, steady, undeniable. Think about how people respond to you when you are in alignment. They sense it without words. They feel calm around you, or inspired, or drawn in a way they cannot explain. This is not luck. It is your frequency broadcasting truth, and that truth is magnetic. Opportunities align not because you chase them, but because you radiate the vibration that calls them near. This is also why trying to convince others of your worth rarely works. The signal you emit is stronger than any explanation you give. If you doubt yourself internally while speaking confidence outwardly, people feel the doubt. The field mirrors the doubt. But when you embody worth as an identity, no words are needed. The signal speaks louder than speech. To live as the signal is to step into ease. You no longer measure your progress by how many steps you have taken, or how much time has passed. You measure it by how aligned you feel in the present moment. You stop chasing timelines and start emanating frequencies. And as you do, the timelines that match your signal appear as if they were waiting for you all along. Close your eyes and imagine yourself as a lighthouse. You are not chasing ships through the sea. You are shining steadily, and the ships come to you. Your power is not in running after what you want. Your power is in becoming so aligned, so luminous, that everything you desire cannot help but find you. This is the art of embodiment. This is manifestation at its highest level. You are no longer a seeker hoping to receive. You are the signal itself, commanding reality through vibration, through coherence, through identity. And this embodiment is not loud. It is steady, calm, inevitable. Whisper it. I am already the answer. There comes a point in your journey when you no longer need thunder to believe in the storm, nor lightning to remind you of the sky. Instead, you begin to trust the quieter proofs, the subtle confirmations that life is listening to you. These quiet proofs have always been present, but perhaps you overlooked them, dismissing them as coincidence, too small to matter. Yet it is in these small echoes that the universe shows its most faithful presence. Think back to the moments when you thought of someone, and within hours their message appeared on your screen. Recall the times when you were uncertain, and a song played with lyrics that seemed written for you. Remember the times you asked for a sign in silence, and suddenly numbers appeared repeating in patterns too exact to ignore. These are not accidents. These are the whispers of alignment, the gentle affirmations that your vibration is being heard. Doubt often demands spectacle. It wants proof written in the sky, undeniable and vast. But the field does not need to shout. It communicates in subtle resonance, because subtlety is enough for those who are awake. The quiet proof does not arrive to convince your mind. It arrives to remind your soul. It tells you that the field is always responsive, always echoing the signal you carry whether you notice or not. The mind often overlooks these confirmations, because it is searching for the extraordinary, yet the extraordinary is woven into the ordinary. The quiet proof hides in daily rhythms, in the smile of a stranger at the precise moment you felt unseen, in the way traffic clears just when you needed to breathe, in the sudden peace that washes over you after chaos. These are not small events. They are the living dialogue between you and the field. Learning to trust the quiet proof is learning to walk with certainty. It shifts you from chasing signs into embodying them. When you begin to notice the subtle alignments, you realize you are never alone, never unsupported. The field has always been listening, arranging, reflecting back your signal with precision. The question has never been whether the field responds. The question has always been whether you notice. When you trust the quiet proof, you no longer beg for confirmation. You no longer doubt whether your frequency is being heard. Instead, you smile at the synchronicity. You breathe in the timing. You relax into the truth that life is always speaking with you. This shift transforms your energy. Instead of needing reassurance, you embody trust. Instead of looking outward in desperation, you look inward with calm recognition. The power of this cannot be overstated. When you lean into the subtle echoes, you strengthen your resonance. Gratitude amplifies coherence. Trust multiplies clarity. The more you notice, the more the field reflects, until what once felt like whispers becomes a chorus of alignment. What once seemed uncertain becomes undeniable. And when you trust the quiet proof, you never beg for signs again. Can you remember one from today? You have reached a turning point in your awakening, and it is not a matter of knowledge, but of identity. For so long, you may have called yourself a seeker. You have searched through books, listened to voices, watched for signs, and asked questions in the silence of your nights. That seeking has brought you here, but it is not where you are meant to remain. Seeking was the bridge, but becoming is the destination. The most profound shift you will ever experience is not external. It is the moment you stop calling yourself a seeker and begin to claim yourself as a creator. When you identify as the seeker, you affirm lack. You declare that the answers are always outside, always ahead, always hidden. But when you embody the creator, You declare that the answers are within, and that you are the one shaping what unfolds. Identity is not a mask you wear. It is the vibration you broadcast. Every I am statement is a command to the field. Every declaration you make about who you are carves grooves in the quantum fabric, aligning timelines and possibilities around you. If you say I am lost, the field echoes confusion. If you say I am not enough, the field mirrors that lack. But when you say I am the field, I am abundance, I am love embodied, the mirror cannot help but reflect these truths into form. This is why you must guard your identity with intention. Words are not casual, thoughts are not harmless, beliefs are not invisible, they are the seeds of your becoming. The universe is not responding to your wishes alone, it is responding to who you believe yourself to be. Think about the times you tried to manifest by repeating words without belief. You may have said, I am worthy, yet doubted it deeply. The field responded not to the words, but to the vibration beneath them. The echo was muted because your signal was divided. But when your identity shifts fully, when the words, emotions, and self-concept align, the field has no option but to reflect coherence. This is why the shift from seeker to creator is so powerful. It is not a mental game. It is the collapse of an old self-image and the birth of a new one. You are no longer someone looking for the light. You are the light shining. You are no longer someone asking for love. You are love made visible. You are no longer someone chasing abundance. You are abundance embodied, and the reflection follows naturally. Identity is not fragile. It is fluid, but it becomes stable through repetition. Every time you repeat, I am, you reinforce a groove. Every time you embody that identity in thought and action, you deepen the groove. And just like a record playing on a turntable, the song of your life plays according to the groove you set. If you want a new song, you must set a new groove. This is where the practice of affirmations becomes more than repetition. It becomes embodiment. To say I am abundance is not enough unless you breathe as if it is already true, act as if it is already embodied, and feel the coherence of it within your heart. To say I am love is not enough unless you radiate it through your presence, through the way you see yourself, and through the way you connect with others. Identity becomes reality when it is lived, not simply spoken. The shift is not about arrogance. It is not about pretending to be something you are not. It is about remembering that you have always been more than you believed. The field responds not to effort, but to coherence. When your identity is clear, the reflection is effortless. Close your eyes now, and imagine the version of yourself who has fully shifted into creator. Feel how they walk, how they breathe, how they see the world. Notice the absence of desperation, the quiet certainty, the calm radiance. That is not a future version of you. That is who you are now, waiting for recognition. This is where the seeker finally dissolves. You no longer need to collect endless proof. You no longer beg the field for signs. You embody the sign. You are the proof, and reality bends in silence, reorganizing itself around your new broadcast. And when the I am becomes natural, reality bends in silence. Say this with me now. I am what I once chased. There is a place within you that is not shaken by fear, not moved by doubt, not altered by circumstances. It is the still point of power, the center where creation begins. Most of your life you may have been taught that power comes from movement, from action, from pushing and forcing. But the deepest power does not live in noise. It lives in silence. It lives in the stillness that contains everything before it becomes something. Think of the ocean for a moment. On the surface, waves crash and roar. Storms rise and winds scatter the water. But deep beneath the surface, the ocean is still, steady, unshaken. That depth is not separate from the surface. It is what holds it together. In the same way, your still point holds your entire life. When you connect with it, you discover that manifestation does not come from endless struggle. It comes from resting in alignment with the field. Science has shown that silence and meditation reorganize the brain, calming the nervous system and bringing the heart and mind into coherence. Spiritual traditions across the world have always pointed to stillness as the doorway to truth. The reason is simple. Stillness is where you stop scattering your signal. It is where your vibration gathers into clarity. It is where the field can reflect you without distortion. Most people are afraid of stillness because it confronts them with their own thoughts. But when you move through that fear, you find that silence is not empty. Silence is full of potential, full of frequency, full of life waiting to be recognized. It is the womb of creation, the pause between breaths, the gap between thoughts, the space where all possibilities rest before collapsing into form. When you embody this still point, you stop running, you stop chasing the next sign, the next opportunity, the next promise of fulfillment. Instead, you anchor in the awareness that everything you seek is already vibrating within the silence. From this awareness, your signal becomes stronger, more coherent, and more undeniable. You may remember moments when you felt this truth. Perhaps you were sitting in nature and felt time dissolve, as if everything was both eternal and immediate. Perhaps you were meditating and suddenly sensed a presence that was vast and tender at the same time. Or perhaps you simply sat in quiet and felt a peace that no words could explain. Those were glimpses of your still point of power. The field responds to stillness because stillness is clarity. A scattered mind sends mixed signals. A restless heart vibrates with division, but a still being radiates one coherent frequency, and the universe cannot resist coherence. It bends around it, flows toward it, reflects it with precision. Your still point is not something you need to earn. It is not something you need to build. It has always been there, beneath the surface noise, waiting for you to return. Each time you breathe deeply and allow silence to settle, you touch it. Each time you stop grasping and allow yourself to simply be, you feel it. And the more you return to it, the more natural it becomes. This stillness is not passivity. It is not withdrawal. It is power in its purest form. From stillness, you act with clarity instead of desperation. From stillness, you speak words that carry weight because they are aligned with truth. From stillness, you move in harmony with the field rather than against it. And the most extraordinary part is that in this stillness, you no longer need to force manifestation. You realize that manifestation is not about calling something in, but about allowing what is already aligned to appear. The still point does not push. It allows. And in that allowing, reality reorganizes itself around you. And this stillness is the throne of your becoming. Close your eyes for a moment and feel it. There is a version of you that already exists beyond time. It is not waiting to be born, and it is not trapped in some distant tomorrow. It is alive right now, watching, listening, guiding. This future self carries the wisdom of every decision you have not yet made, the strength of every challenge you have not yet faced, and the fulfillment of every dream you are still unfolding. And though you may not see it with your eyes, you can feel it whenever you sense that gentle pull towards something greater. The field does not operate on a linear clock. To the quantum reality, past, present, and future exist simultaneously. This means that the self you imagine becoming is already present as a vibration, already alive as an identity, already speaking to you in the language of intuition. The nudges you feel, the insights that arrive without warning, the sense of certainty that blooms for no reason, these are the whispers of your future self. They are not imagination. They are communication. Think of all the times you felt as though something within you already knew the right choice before your mind had time to reason it out. That knowing came from the future self. It is the part of you that has already walked the path and is now sending signals backward through the field. The guidance you feel is not fantasy. It is memory flowing in reverse. This is why you are drawn to visions of a higher life. It is not that you are chasing something distant. It is that you are remembering who you already are. The image of abundance, the dream of love, the sense of purpose. They are not outside goals. They are reflections of your future self calling you forward. You feel them so vividly because they are already yours in another layer of reality. The more you attune to this truth, the more clearly you can hear the voice of that self. At first it may feel like intuition, faint and uncertain, but the more you trust, the stronger it grows. The future self is always listening to you, responding to your vibration, sending you alignments, synchronicities, and reminders. It does not scold you when you forget. It does not judge you when you fall back into fear. It waits, patiently, because it knows that you will remember again. This is why trust is so important. When you doubt yourself, you cut off the signal. When you dismiss your intuition, you muffle the guidance. But when you lean into it, even in small ways, you strengthen the bridge. And soon the line between who you are and who you are becoming disappears. You begin to live as both. Right now, your future self is leaning closer, listening to the choices you make, the words you speak, the beliefs you embody. Every time you choose trust, it smiles. Every time you align with love, it grows brighter. Every time you declare I am, it echoes through the timelines, reinforcing what is already true. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your future self standing before you. Notice the energy, the calm, the power radiating effortlessly. Notice the eyes filled with certainty, the presence filled with peace. That self is not a dream. That self is here, listening to you now, waiting for you to recognize that you are already one. And the next time you forget, you will hear this voice again. Can you sense your future self leaning closer? You are here, at the final breath of this message, and that alone tells you something about yourself. Out of all the people who could have heard these words, out of all the timelines that could have carried you elsewhere, you stayed, you listened, you allowed, you received. That is not coincidence. That is confirmation. You are part of the rare few, the 1%, who are not only curious about awakening, but who are ready to live it. Most people touch the edge of this truth and retreat. They feel the stirring in their chest. They notice the synchronicities, but they dismiss them as chance. They hear the quiet voice of their future self, but silence it with logic. They feel the pull of destiny, but choose comfort instead. And so they drift, looping through the same cycles, waiting for the field to change without changing themselves. But not you. You remained. You listened. You allowed this message to reach into you and remind you of what you already knew. That is what sets you apart. It is not perfection. It is not superiority. It is willingness. You were willing to hear, willing to open, willing to remember, and that willingness makes you the 1%. Think about the journey you have walked within this message. You felt the signal find you. You saw the mirror of your soul. You understood the science of alignment and broke the old timelines. You remembered that you are the field, that you speak the language of light, that distance is only illusion, that you are the signal itself. You trusted the quiet proof. You shifted your identity. You touched the still point of power. You listened to your future self. And now you stand here not the same as when you began. You may feel subtle changes in your body right now. Your chest lighter, your breath deeper, your mind quieter. That is not just emotion. That is frequency realigning. That is your entire being resonating with the truth that you have always been more than a seeker. You are the creator, the field, the 1% who chooses awareness over sleep. And do you know why this matters? Because when 1% awakens, the reflection ripples into the 99. Your coherence becomes a beacon. Your embodiment becomes permission. The way you live, the way you speak, the way you move through the world, it changes the field for everyone around you. You are not only transforming your life, you are transforming the collective mirror. This is the quiet revolution of consciousness. It does not arrive with banners or shouts. It arrives in individuals like you, remembering who they are, embodying their signal, radiating truth without apology. You are not simply a listener of these words. You are the continuation of them. You carry them forward in your energy, and the field reflects that into every space you enter. Remember this whenever you doubt yourself. You were never ordinary. You were never meant to disappear into the background of life. You came here to embody the signal, to live as proof, to awaken not only for yourself but for those who are still asleep. You may not realize the impact you have, but the field records every vibration. Your smile shifts timelines. Your trust bends probability. Your coherence transforms rooms. This is why you were meant to find this message. It is not entertainment. It is activation. It is destiny aligning with readiness. It is the 1% remembering their role. And you are that 1%. Not someday. Now. Breathe this truth into your being. You were always chosen. You were always guided. You were always carrying the code of awakening within you. This moment did not make you extraordinary. It revealed that you already were. Close your eyes and allow this realization to anchor. Feel the quiet strength rising in your chest. Feel the certainty that no external validation can give you. Feel the stillness that tells you nothing is missing. That is your true identity vibrating back to you. That is the 1% awakening within you fully. And as you carry this awareness into your life, you will notice how everything shifts. Old fears lose their grip. Old doubts lose their weight. Old timelines dissolve like mist in the sun. What once felt impossible begins to appear natural, because you are no longer asking reality to change. You are being the change that reality must reflect. And when moments of forgetfulness come, as they sometimes will, you will not be lost. You will remember that you can return to this message. Return to your still point. Return to your future self. The field will always answer your signal, because it has never stopped listening. And so this message becomes part of you now. Carry this with you today, as if it is already yours.